Now, Mayor Rawlings, you declared a state of emergency today in Dallas. What does that declaration enable you to do?
Well, it hopefully takes action to deal with one of a serious issue we've got here with the West Nile virus. I've decided to spray aerially throughout Dallas. We've been doing it kind of locally on the roads and on land, but we can get to this issue much more rapidly because I've been able to do that.
Okay, so it enables you to kind of override other jurisdictions that may not want the spraying because you've had so many incidences of West Nile virus and casualties, right?
Yeah, I really just speak for the city of Dallas, and we're just talking about the jurisdiction of the Dallas. We just don't have to take a vote for it. We take all the politics out of it, and we take the city manager out of it, and I can step in to make those decisions.
Now, let me ask you this. Are there any health issues related with the spraying for humans?
I've been studying this closely, talked to a lot of people at the CDC, the EPA, and everybody says this is safe. Other cities have done this before. This is what New York City uses. This is what Sacramento's been doing for 5 years. And this dissipates very quickly. And so there's no health effects proven, and I think the science backs us up on that.
Okay, so Mayor, then the other question becomes, are there any effects for plant life or for beneficial insects?
Well, the beneficial insects need to hopefully be gone and be down in the earth when it gets night. That's when the mosquitoes come out. It does impact very small insects if they come in contact with it. But other plant life, larger vertebrates, it's got no impact on them. And now we're weighing a real serious issue. 10 people have died. Over a third of the cases and throughout the nation have happened in Dallas County. And so that's why we're taking this serious action.
The West Nile virus.
This is the worst outbreak of the West Nile virus in years. And in the southern state of Texas, the mosquito-borne virus has already claimed lives and made hundreds sick. 14-year-old Jordan Connor is expected to make a full recovery, but authorities are monitoring the situation closely.
I think people are correct in being concerned about it, and certainly when you have that many fatalities, it's something that bears our attention.
In Dallas, a state of emergency has been declared. Trucks have already begun spraying areas with pesticides, and the mayor has now approved the use of aerial chemical sprays, the first time that's happened in the city in almost 50 years. Some local officials have expressed concern about possible adverse health effects. Meanwhile, local groups are doing what they can.
We want people to take action to protect themselves, protect their family, protect their neighbors, protect their neighborhood.
It's thought the spike in cases may have been brought on by a mild winter and rainy spring, perfect conditions for mosquitoes. But it's not just Texas that's been affected. Unusually high rates of the West Nile virus are being reported across the United States. Andy Gallagher, Al Jazeera.
So it's like 17 minutes to the hour. One big city is now fighting against a deadly virus, the West Nile virus, and it's been a long while. Mayor of Big D, Dallas, Texas, has declared a state of emergency, and he's given the okay for crews to start spraying insecticide from the air for the first time in 50 years, almost. Health commissioner says the risk from those chemicals is much less than the risk of West Nile itself. It's reportedly killed at least 10 people across Dallas County already. The doc is in the house. Dr. Philippa Cheatham from Columbia University Medical Center here in New York City. They used to spray for skeeters all the time in my neighborhood as a kid, but that was malathion. They don't use that anymore.
Well, the virus that they're talking about is actually a virus that was first discovered in Uganda in 1930, but it actually came to New York in 1999, and they've got this huge outbreak in Dallas at the moment that's causing a huge amount of anxiety, and they're talking about spraying all of the area to try and reduce the infection that these mosquitoes are creating. And this is a viral infection, Shep, so antibiotics are not going to help in this situation, and there is no treatment for the disease. It's a virus, and so what we need to do is to educate people to prevent them from having mosquito bites, which is where the infection is being carried.
Well, I mean, but aside from spraying yourself in off or something, what can you do?
Well, you want to try and stay inside at times of the day when you may be prone to infection.
Like sunset.
Mosquito bites, of course.
Skeeters get all randy around sunset, right?
Well, you want to stay away from stagnant water. You want to take insect repellent, use insect repellent. Cover your arms up. If you have babies outside in strollers, make sure there's a net over the top of them. And do everything that you can do to prevent mosquito bites. That's the key.
You know what? I live in this neighborhood on Long Island where they don't allow standing water. And we don't have mosquitoes. So it sounds like, what good will it do for me to do this on my property? But if you can eliminate the standing water in your neighborhood, they have to lay their eggs in still standing water if you get rid of the standing water.
That's correct. But even if you live in the city, if you're prone to mosquito bites, some people are very prone, then, you know, that's a problem.
She'll get bitten 100 times and I won't get bitten once. It's the truth. You've seen it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Why do mosquitoes bite some people more than others? I mean, she's sweet as sugar, obviously. That's part of it.
Well, Shep, that's probably a show for another day. I mean, some people are very prone to infections. The problem with this virus is that if you are infected and you are immunosuppressed, the elderly, the very young, anyone who's on immunosuppression, this infection can affect the nerves that supply...
It can kill you, can't it?
Well, it can kill you because these nerves are surrounded by layers of tissue that can become inflamed. So you can get meningitis from this, but this is very rare. But people are very anxious about it, understandably.
I'm sure. Doesn't West Nile, when it shows up, and it does periodically since the late 90s, as you mentioned, doesn't it usually show up at the beginning of kind of skeeter season? Right when kids first start getting out of school, you start seeing it? This seems late.
Well, it's not late, actually, and the commonest time is towards the end of the summer. In the fall, the virus numbers are much higher.
Huh. So once the hurricanes start getting active, the West Nile gets active.
And also, when the temperature comes down, there's less of a risk from the infection.
Well, that's not... Oh, so we just need to make it through August and the beginning of September. Or in Dallas, I guess you need to make it through, like, November. Because it stays warm in the Big D.
It certainly does. So,
but your kids, do you have any concerns about people using these over-the-counter mosquito repellents on very little children?
Well, there's a balance. I mean, with children, you want to protect them with a net if they're in the stroller. We've already talked about that. You want to keep the children outside at dangerous times. So in the evening, particularly when it's dusk, when there's more mosquitoes around, stay away from stagnant water. Be sensible, keep covered up. Those are the kind of advice. I mean, I think with very young children, you obviously don't want to be putting large amounts of insect repellent on them, but there's other things that you can do for prevention
This time
as well.
of year, around sunset, if you're in and around Dallas, it might not be a bad idea to keep the screaming youngins inside. You know.
Well, that might be.
You don't want to, but it's bad.
And keep them in the cool as well.
Keep them in the cooler.
Keep them in the cool.
Oh,
Shep.
the cool. Never know about Dr. Philippa. News from the future, Dr. Cheatham has a refrigerator full of children.
No, that's you, Shep. You came up with that, not me.
Oh, God. I don't know what's going on anymore. Doctor, the pleasure is always mine.
Of course.
Obviously.
Thank you.
If only you knew her in the real life, this table should be barred from many countries.